Welcome, this is where nerds come to learn things. If it's your first time here, click on the subscribe button and on the bell icon to get notifications about new videos. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoy it. So I'm just making a PCB up. I'm actually going to make some riser cards for my HP8648B. Now these aren't complete risers, I'm not doing the whole assembly in one go. I'm doing these like mini risers, so you need to use two of these at once, and then a separate cable as well to do the power connection. So I thought it's a nice simple way of doing it, easy to make and flexible because you've got different width cards, maybe you could use it on other things as well. It's just straight through, so shouldn't nothing special on the board apart from some test points over here. So this is what I've designed. It's messy, it's really not good. I couldn't find the right footprints I wanted, and it just drives me nuts and I just couldn't be bothered. So I've made this, which should work. Here's a circuit diagram, and as you can see, all the pin numbering is completely screwed. Right, it is what it is. The only thing which is right is this one here. The rest of it is wrong. So yeah, it is what it is. Right, I ignore the pin numbering, it doesn't matter. I'll put individual markings on the board. Right, so if I move this back out of the way, you see on the board here I've got individual numbering. Okay, it's on both sides of the board, so you can see it from both sides. The pin header here does have the correct numbering, but that's going to be getting cut off because I don't want it to be on the board. I want it to overhang the end. And here, the pin spacing I'm using for the female socket on the board is actually the same pin spacing as a DIP20 IC package. So I've put a DIP20 package on there because that'll be the right size, in theory anyway. So assuming I've got my measurements and stuff right for the various parts. I couldn't bother making you footprints and messing around with all that stuff. So anyway, so there's a design. I've done Gerbers for it. Actually, I should show you Gerbers, shouldn't I? I will upload Gerbers to the site and I'll show you the PCB design. I'll come right back. Okay, now for some reason I can't get the PCBway Gerber viewer to work properly on my machine. I don't know what it is. I've tried Safari, I've tried Chrome, and I don't know why I just can't get PCBway to have the Gerber viewer work on my Mac. I don't know if it's a Mac thing or what, I don't know. Maybe it's because it uses Flash or something, I don't know. Something weird like that most likely. So I'm just using this for now. If I go to top view, this is just off screen, you won't be able to see these things I'm clicking. There's a top view of the board, and as you can see, this header here, which is supposed to hang off the edge of the board, isn't. It's increased the footprint to put the header on there. Not what I want, so I've had to put a comment in the order for PCBway, as you'll see, and there's the bottom of the board, and you can see I've got my individual pin numbering on the back of the board and on the top of the board as well. Okay, there's basic text, nothing too exciting. What I've got is I've put a milling line here. There's a mill line here. So I've put in my comments saying that the mill line there is where I want the end of the board to stop. So I don't care about the overhang, that's fine. It's just, that's what I want. Okay, so that's what I've had to do. I had to put the Gerber viewer from there. Alright, so now back to this site. So this is PCBway's site. So this is the ordering page. I've already filled it in. This is the approximate board sizes. I've done an inch to millimetre conversion. I just went in there, clicked on that, and put in the measurements, and it put them in, converted and put them in for me. So on two layers, FR4, 1.6mm thick. That should be fine. Using default stuff here. I'm using a yellow board. I always like to have yellow boards with black silk screen. Don't have gold fingers because I don't have any fingers on the end of the board. Now I want gold because I want these to be nice high quality boards. I'm getting gold on there. I probably don't need to, but I mean, could do hassle or gold. Hassle would certainly be cheaper. Okay, I could do this. That's a lot cheaper. I'll just go with the gold because I want a decent quality board. These are for test equipment testing, so I want high quality. So I'm going to go with this. Also get to test the soldering as well, see how good soldering goes on it. There aren't any wires on the board, so it doesn't matter. And I'm using standard 1-inch copper. So that's what I need to order. Don't need stencils, don't need assembly. Here's my comments in here about the overhang on the PCB and the IC socket being at the other end, right as close as possible to the end, so hopefully I can figure out what I actually want. So let's submit this. I've already got the shipping and stuff sorted out. Right, so I'm going to add my Gerber file. Okay, there's the Gerbers uploaded. Submit the order, and I think we'll be done. That's submitted now. Now it's got to wait for that to be audited and checked. Hopefully it goes through okay, and if it does, then I'll get it manufactured. Now this is going to be done by PCBway, hopefully no cost. They were always keen to work with me, so I should just be able to say, please make me this. So as you can see here, PCBway finished making the order, and it's been shipped already. So it hasn't been very long at all. So on the 5th they started processing it, basically, and the next day it was out. So just over 24 hours time for them to do the order, basically, which is pretty good. So now I'm just waiting for it all to turn up. Now obviously because it's from China, it's going to take a few days, but it's going by DHL, so it should be fairly quick. Right, let's see what's in this one. Now I'm pretty sure this is from PCBway, and if that's the case, then it's a sponsorship item. Let's get this out of the way. It's in there somewhere. It is. There we go. So PCBway very kindly paid to have these made for me. It's cost me nothing at all. It's been free to me. So make sure you go and check out PCBway's website and that sort of stuff, because they've been really good to deal with. I've dealt with them several times now, and each time they've been excellent. So I've always been very happy with the service. There are other manufacturers as well, but this is the one they're all pretty much the same as far as quality, so you can just pick and choose which one you prefer, really. And I've been happy with PCBway, so I'm just carrying on using them. So make sure you check them out. There'll be links down below for PCBway as well. And they give you a few little things. Got some more stickers for their 5-year celebration, which I did a video on not too long ago. So yeah, I got a whole big box of stuff. So that's those, and they give me another pen. Always need more pens. And here's the boards. And hopefully I could design them right. If there's anything wrong with them, or there's any cock-ups, it's probably mine. So let's give them a go. Let's have a look. So I ordered 10 boards. So how many did you get? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. As usual, they give you an extra one or two. So I don't have any flood or anything. I don't have flood fill. There's none of that on there. It's just the traces themselves. And this is ENIG as well. So it's gold plated. Immersion gold. Because I wanted these to be nice quality boards with good connections. And things that should probably sit around for a while and actually maybe not be assembled straight away. So that's the board they made for me. So thank you very much, PCBway. Good on you. So let's have a quick look, make sure I haven't messed anything up. Because it'll say any mistakes are probably mine. I had to try and communicate with them about how to set up this header here, because the footprint I'd used was actually not really the right one. It's just what worked. So it's actually a right angled footprint which actually hung off the edge of the board, and so they were a bit confused by that, saying, hey, the board's going to be, you know, the footprint goes off the edge of the board, the silk screen goes off it. I said, don't worry about it, just cut it off. So it's fine. And that's the other side. And focus, you bastard. And there's that footprint just off the edge of the board there, you can see it. I just said, don't worry about it, that's fine, that's what I want it. So in theory this board should be used for the 8647, 8648 and 8920. It should work on the very least those units. Now the length is the only thing, it's a bit short, only because of the limitations in Eagle. I can't go to like 100mm in Eagle, so that's the size I had to go to. It's probably going to give enough access to get to the card anyway, but at the worst case you could always stack them if you really had to, I suppose. Excellent, so we'll assemble those. So here we go, here's the stuff from PCBway. Here's the two boards I'm going to need to assemble right now, and I've still got 9 left, which is great. So I've got the parts here I need. Here's some little sideways or 90-degree female headers. Here's 90-degree male headers. I was going to use these, but unfortunately this housing doesn't quite fit overside the connectors on the actual unit itself. So this is what's got to go into, is this. I was going to have to cut away the bottom edge anyway, but it doesn't quite go over. I was hoping I could use it as a locator, but it's not going to work. So I just have to be really careful about how I place them. So unfortunately that doesn't work, so I can't use those. So I have to use standard right angles open headers. I've got some male and female D9 connectors here. These are for the power connector, which go in the centre, which aren't related to these, but it's all part of the assembly I need to make. And so thank you very much PCBway for sending me these. Obviously no cost, so I'm promoting them because, you know, they saved me a bunch of money for making these boards. Now these boards say, as I said before, these are ENIG, which are gold plated, immersion gold, so these shouldn't corrode. I'm going to be basically soldering most of it anyway, but I've got some header pins here which I'm not going to bother populating right now. I will do probably later on maybe, but these pins here I'm not going to be using, so I'm only using these very end headers and these ones here. So that's basically it. It's just an extension card. Okay, so I have to make sure I put the parts on the correct side as well. Now the component side, this side, which is why I say component side on here, that's the side I've got to put the parts on, because otherwise it ain't going to work. Right, let's start making these things. So it's pretty simple, there's not really a lot to it. All I've got is these right angle headers here, which have to go in this end, like that. And I've got these right angle headers here, which have to go in this end. I just have to make sure I get the orientation correct, because you put them all around, you won't have 20 pins, you only have 10. You see those pins actually bend around from the top row, and they go this side. The bottom holes will be covered up, you see, so you have to make sure you've got the bottom rows set up right. So it actually just allow the header to go straight in the end. So the idea is that this would go in here. And what soldering iron's going to beep, because that's what it does. And let's push these in actually. Let's just do that. It's located in, so it'll sit like that. And the header on the side of the unit, or the bottom of the unit, will just push into here, like that. That's the plan. First got to solder together. So I'm going to turn this upside down, zoom back out so you can see what I'm doing. And I should just be able to do it pretty much like that. I might have to space this off very slightly here actually. Just a fraction. I'm using a silver solder, SN62 alloy, 0.56mm. Pretty fine for this really, but I just want to make sure I've got decent solder on it. Being a piece of test equipment with repair equipment, I need to make sure it's high quality. So I'm messing around with things, wondering why it doesn't work. Right. Making sure it's bedded down properly. I think it's good. Yep, all happy there. It's all nice and flat on the board. So let's get these soldered up. Right. Also need to get this to flow through the board so it goes to the other side. Shouldn't be a problem though, because obviously the main track's on the outside of the board, but these are wired anyway, but I need to make sure it's nice and strong, having it right through. I'll be able to check the other side of the board once it's on and see if it's flowed. I see one in there sucked it through and took the soldering away. This one here, let's do it again. I should really turn my fan on. Let's get that on there. I'll get rid of some of these fumes. So it's a pretty simple board, it's not really a lot to it, it's not a particularly exciting board, but it's something you just can't get. I've looked for riser cards for these machines and I haven't been able to find anything. It's been quite surprising. So I thought, right, well, if I can't buy one, I'll just make one. So I also need to make a pair of these things. So I only record video doing one because you know you don't see both of them being made, do you? Both the same thing. So I'll just show you one, then I'll do the other one afterwards. Okay, I'll take all the flux off after. Let's check the other side. Making sure all flow through, that side's looking good. One more, there's a bit more on this one. So it could be this one. One of them. Yeah, it's flow through now. It's all good. So I want to make sure it's on both sides of the ball because it's going to have a lot of stress put on it when it's pushed in and out. So I want to make sure that it's as strong as possible. So I almost went for a thicker copper. Almost did. But in the end I didn't bother. I need to make sure these are straight. So let's get a solder joint done. And then I'll line it up. What I think I might need to do actually is get another header, plug it into the header and use that to make sure it's flat on the bench. That way it will definitely be lined up. Okay, yeah, cool. I think it's pushed through too much, so I've got to drop it out a little bit. Alignment's quite important. Okay, carry on. Same dog will get it flow through the board. I'll tell you it's quite high heat. I'm using 400 degrees C, which is, say, pretty high, which does tend to burn the flux off, but I find it helps the flows quite a bit. It gets it through the boards a bit quicker. Don't have to dwell on each joint quite so long. I probably should drop it down a little bit actually, it probably is a little bit high. I would normally use something more like 380, 390, but I'm using a small tip, so I'm kind of compensating for that. There's almost one ball done, so it's not much of a process. So the header pins I can put on here for the test points. I'm not going to worry about doing that right now. I'll do it later on. If you haven't seen my project for this extractor fan system, then suggest you go and check that out. So what we'll call it now, DIY extractor fan, something like that. Fume extractor, DIY fume extractor, probably something like that. Have a look for it. It's really simple. You can buy the parts yourself from a place like AliExpress, or buy the filter elements, then you can 3D print some stuff, make your own housing. Bit of flexible ducting, little extractor fan, easy as that, pretty easy to make, pretty cheap. It's better than not having one. Just making sure it will flow through, same as before. Got one there that needs a bit more. And it's going to be stubborn. Yeah, it's gone through now. At worst case, I'll put some flux on it and I'll make it flow, but it seems to be right now. Okay, so that's one board done. Not hard. I'll just give it a clean up and that will be complete. I'm not going to worry about doing this bit just yet. Like I said, don't need that right now. So let's do a quick test fit. So here's the unit it's got to plug into. So it should plug in there, and it does. That's nicely bedded in. The connector's right to the bottom. Balls are just touching, so it's got some support, so that's fine. This is going to need some actual, like, when you actually do the testing on this, you might actually have to support this somehow and wobble around. It's a lot of weight on these. So, right, that's one board done. Okay, so that's the two boards made, both assembled. Given a bit of a clean up, got most of the flux off. There's still a little bit there, but it's got most of it off. So that's good enough for that. I might chuck in the ultrasonic maybe. We'll see how we go. The next thing I'll make is this part for this project, which is to use a ribbon cable and make these into a nice extension. And that's not much. I've sort of cut some 9 cords ribbon cable off, check it in these and crimp them on. It's not really much of a problem. So. Okay, so I've got some cable stripped off. Now I should really mention this. These rainbow colour ribbon cables, you want to call them that. The colours represent the standard designations, like brown is 1, red is 2, and so on. And you know, white is 9. So if you go from brown to white, you've got 1 to 9. So you actually can identify which wire is which from this ribbon to that plug. So you have to make sure then is you put the plug on the correct ground for the ribbon. So the brown one goes to pin 1. As long as you do that right, you're all good. I'll say that and I'll put it on backwards. I have put it on backwards. It goes this way round. So that's pin 1 over here. So that's, you can just see the numbering on there maybe. Zoom in a bit. So there's a 6 and a 7 there. And there's the 1. You just about to see it. So I always double check because sometimes you just get it wrong. And make sure it's also straight. If it's not straight, you might end up cutting into the side of a wire or something when you crimp it. Now I don't have a proper crimp tool for this. I've just got to use pair pliers because that's what I have. But it'll do the job just fine. Set the height about right. And it should be alright. Get it all locked in. So in theory they should be connected up. Now I just need to sort out the length of this, what the length that I need. Now I could either do a length based on the board, because it's going to kind of come like this. I'm actually going to put this. It's got this little restraint clip on it to put it on the back as well, just to help lock it down, like a strain relief. Alright, that's on there too, because this is the one which goes in the bottom of the unit. It's just going to be a bit hard to reach. So then you can either base it on this length here, so it's basically the same length as this board, which is going to be a bit awkward because you've got to get the card in and out, and so these are a bit short. So what I actually attempted to do is to make it twice as long. Whether that's a good thing, I don't know, we'll find out. But if I base it on stacking these boards, and then do that length, that gives me plenty of length to get the thing in and out, and allows me, if I have to double the boards up to access like the bottom of the board or something, because say these aren't quite long enough, they're not far off but they're close, then at least then I've got enough length on this to be able to use the same cable without messing around. And it doesn't really matter, I've got a bit, and it's basically power cable, power and a little bit of data, so it's not that big a deal anyway. It's not like I've got main signals going through here where it's maybe, you know, a oscillator signal going through it. There's nothing like that going through. So I might just cut the cable off, say about here, and that'll give me enough to actually get this hooked on there and get it done and have a little bit of slack still. So we'll do that. Now again, you've got to make sure you get your orientation correct. So can we see inside here for the pin numbers? Yes, there is a pin number there. Let's show you that. So you can just see there's a pin 1 marked up there, and pin 9 marked over here. So 1, 5, 6 and 9 are marked. So at least we know which one the brown wire to go to. The brown wire has to go to that pin. So I want to try and make sure the orientation stays correct around as well. So it goes sort of. I'll zoom back out. You can't see what I'm doing. So doing the same frame like that. So it's on the same side. Otherwise you end up being back to front and sort of lopsided. You know, don't like that way round. Done that. You want it to be the same like this. That way it's a straight. You know exactly what you're doing. You should be able to loop it around and plug it back into itself if you've got it right. Okay, if you can do that without twisting it, then you've got it in line correctly and you haven't got anything swapped over. Little tip. Okay, so let's push this down. Got a bit too much wire sticking out. Drag it in a little bit. Okay, let's crimp it. This one's going to be a bit tricky to do because of the fact that it's got those pins there. I might just try pushing it down. I found a solution. I looped the things back onto each other so they're pushing against each other. I'll crimp across here and that'll push that one in. That's the way to do it. So I need to get a proper crimp tool for this. If I'm going to do these again, then I'll need to get the proper tool for this. This is just, it's a bit of a bodge really using this thing. It's not the right tool for the job. It works, but it's not really right. Okay, that should be down. So what I should be able to do now is test between the pins and make sure there's actually conductivity there. Should make sure it's not shorted to the pins next to it as well, shouldn't I? Just in case it's cut into the cable in the wrong place or something. Looking good so far. Yep, it's all fine. So that's that done. So that's essentially made. So I should be able to try this in unit now and actually see if it goes. Right, so here's the unit it's going to be going into. This is what all this project's been about, is making riser cards for this. So this is the HP8648, same as the 8647. Pretty much the same, very little difference in them. And these cards here, they're going to plug into these. So what we've got to do to make this actually fit, you've got to put the cards first into the module which is going to slot in there. So I'm going to slot into the middle module, which is the synthesizer synth gen board, right? SIG-gen synth board here. And I'm going to plug that in there. What I've got to do first is plug the cards into this board here. And these all go in the correct around. I've got to make sure I put it wrong around. It goes that way around. So I've got to plug the cards into here first, and then I can align them into there. So let's plug the other card in there. Alright, so that's those in. Now, I also need to plug in this cable. So I'm going to put it inside the unit first. So we need the female side to go that side. It's got these two pins which has to slide over. So I may do a revision later on, actually make a board for the female, well for this D9 connector. I may make a board for that just like these ones, so you just have 3 boards rather than using a cable. It'll be easy because this is a bit hard to get in there to get the thing back out. Getting in's not too bad, but getting it back out again is a bit tricky. It's because it's quite a tight connector. Who knows, so maybe it'll just be, as the connector relaxes it might be a bit easier, but this is, you know, being a brand new connector is quite tight. So next thing I'll do is plug this into this board whilst you can get to it. Also, if you're doing this without the housing on, it'd probably be quite easy actually, because you'd be a lot more accessible. But if you're doing, you know, if you've got the riser card in here, because you don't have the housing on it in order to probe the thing. So just make sure it's plugged in. Now, see, I've got plenty of length on there, so I can get these cables in. We'll get the unit in there with these risers on there. Tuck the cable in there. Because these connectors are not exactly the right size for the original ones on this board, is a bit of, the slightly different size connectors, they're a bit of a weird one. So they won't locate properly. You have to make sure you actually locate it manually to make sure that they're aligned. You don't want to be off by 1 pin, for example. Alright, so we get down here with a torch. and I can see whether they're lined up right. Okay, so that's lined up right, that's all good, so I should be able to push that down, that should be right. Wiggle and we're both down. Double check in case it slipped off, never know, don't want to get that wrong. That's fine, that's all good. If I could get exactly the right connectors for this, it would be easy, but I don't know, maybe they're out there somewhere, I haven't found them. So what I need to do right now is just push this cable out of the way, because what I need to do now is put the next board in that goes next to it. Just tuck that out of the way like that. So this is the reference board that goes next to it. Brilliant. Okay, so now we can power this up and test it out. Bit of a spoiler alert, I've already done this in the live stream, so they already know. Turn power on, turn the switch on, and we should get no errors on the front. There we go, no errors, so the riser card is working. So that's fine. Now the other things I'd suggest for this is to actually modify very slightly from how it's done. That being, the cards themselves I think they need some support, which I'm going to add on to here. Let's get this back out apart again. So where the risers are in there, you see they're sort of slopping in between the boards, right? So there's a lot of movement on there. So this stuff I've got here is closed cell foam. It's actually just about perfect for one side. I think it's just about the perfect height. What size is that? Let's find out for you. It's about 18 millimeters. Probably about 18 millimeters deep, that one. Right, that's about the perfect height for between this board, that side, and that housing of that one. That chassis there. So that'll help support it at least in one direction. You'll need one on the other side as well though. So if I put this board here back in again, I should get the right one, A4. Well, it doesn't matter, I'm not pounding it out, but it's a reference. Put the reference back in there, and we look at the distance on the other side. I mean, I'm not quite sure what that gap is there. It's a bit hard to measure too. I can estimate it, I suppose. I don't know, it's probably about 3 mil, 4 mil maybe, something like that. I'll take one of these boards out and stack it, might be able to tell that way. That's the other reason I did these boards this way, so if you want to you can stack them up and get even higher. Alright, like so. So now it's right up here. So if you need a lot of clearance you can do that, and that's why I also made this cable this long. I just have to make 2 more boards up to do that, that's all. But here you can see how much. This is quite a heavy board. Even when you take the metal casing off it, it's quite a heavy unit. You don't want that flexing. You see that's touching the side there, so that's another reason to make sure you've got something on it. Right, because if it flexes over and touches that, it's not going to be good for your day. Alright, so having some support one side and support the other side. Let's see if I can get these measurements right. So that's that side there. Get this out of the way and I'll find out how thick this can be. On the other side, I mean, it doesn't matter if it squashes the foam slightly either, I suppose. And that's only a couple of millimetres there, but I'd say this foam here is maybe a little bit thick, but it's close to right. So I'd say probably 3 mil, some 3 mil foam on this side, something like that. That way you're definitely not going to short this side out against the casing. That's just something to watch out for. But yeah, otherwise I think it's a successful project. It's just a shame that I've already fixed this now, because if I hadn't already fixed it I'd be using it right now to try and fix it. I managed to track it down by soldering wires on temporarily. Did the job. Wasn't perfect, but did the job. So that's it. That's that project. Nice little project. I'll definitely make these available. I'll probably check my Patreon page and like that. Maybe on my own website. Maybe I'll chuck them on there too. Make them free for download. once I finish revising the design. So I'll chuck links down below anyway from Patreon. I'll chuck the one I've already got up there. So if you're not a Patreon supporter already, make sure you go and check that out. Okay, I think we're done. Thanks for watching. Thanks to PCBway for the free boards. And watch out for those coming up. Make sure you check out the links to PCBway who made these boards for me at no charge. Make sure you go and check those out. And hopefully buy some stuff from them, because you know they supported me, which is always great. Nice to have that support from companies. I like to get more from other companies too. Not necessarily PCBs, but manufacturers, you know, electronic equipment. Always nice. Catch you later. Subscribe. Watch more. So I've got hundreds and hundreds of videos, so if you haven't seen my previous stuff, then make sure you go and look. I've got hundreds of them, like 644 videos I've done so far. Go back and look at the back catalogue. Pages and pages of them. Loads of them. Go and check them out. Make sure you go and watch more stuff. Watch more.
Watch more. Watch more.
Got out of focus again. Bastard. Focus. And it's in manual focusing too. I still can't get it right. Okay. Hopefully I don't damage anything by doing this. It's not the best. This is when you having a right crimp tool would be a good thing. Okay. Not wonderful, but it's worked. Okay. I'm not completely sure it's crimped down properly actually. Let's give it. I need a right crimp tool for this, or something flat. I'll be right back.
Watch more.